This is called an exhibition. But if you look up exhibition, you will not see any of the laws that we're fighting under. This is a fight.
Mike Tyson has revealed shocking new rules for his upcoming fight with Jake Paul. Moreover, both fighters will come face-to-face at Fanatics Fest in New York City on August 18th. The battle between Tyson and Paul was originally slated to take place on July 20th, but it was pushed back because Tyson had an ulcer. When it was postponed, Paul seized the opportunity to face former UFC fighter Mike Perry in July. Paul secured a victory with a 6th-round technical knockout, boosting his professional boxing record to 10-1. On the heels of his big win over Perry, Paul commented on the impending showdown with Tyson, saying, "After eating Mike Perry as an appetizer, I'm ready to go for the main course on Friday, November 15th. Paul further added, "To be fighting the biggest, baddest boxer ever is a dream come true for me, and it is going to be a nightmare for Mike Tyson. It's cool to be featured at Fanatics Fest alongside some of the biggest names in sports, and I look forward to delivering a show the fans won't soon forget." Tyson also gave his thoughts on Fanatics Fest and provided a positive health update. "I'm looking forward to facing off with Jake Paul at Fanatics Fest in NYC. The countdown is back on. I'm feeling great and looking forward to knocking out Jake Paul on Friday, November 15th at AT&T Stadium in Texas on Netflix." When Tyson and Paul face off on November 15th, Tyson will bring a significant edge in boxing experience and accolades. With a career record of 56 and multiple world heavyweight titles to his name, Tyson's extensive achievements will set him apart. In contrast, Paul has just 11 fights under his belt. However, he is significantly younger at 27, over 30 years his junior, and all of his bouts have taken place within the last 4 years. Tyson is likely to be the toughest challenge of Paul's career so far, given that most of his previous opponents have been former MMA fighters or lesser-known boxers. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury has made his official prediction for Mike Tyson's anticipated bout against Jake Paul. Fury is confident that Tyson will stun the world and deliver a lesson to the problem child when they finally face off. In a video, the Gypsy King stated, "Listen, if Mike Tyson hits anybody, I don't care if he's 90, he's gonna knock them out cold, isn't he? Obviously, I have to back Mike Tyson. I'm named after the legend, and I'll back him. As he always backs me, I'm backing Mike for the knockout. Come on, Mike!" Although Tyson hasn't fought since his match against Jones Jr., Paul has remained highly active in the sport. His most recent bout was in July, where he secured a victory over former UFC fighter Mike Perry. Iron Mike is grappling with a debilitating health condition that affects both his mobility and speech. Concerns among fans first arose in 2022 when he was seen using a wheelchair at Miami International Airport. Tyson was later observed using a walking stick in New York, a situation that was subsequently attributed to sciatica. The NHS describes sciatica as a condition where the sciatic nerve, extending from the lower back through the hips and down to the feet, becomes irritated or compressed, leading to significant pain. Individuals may experience symptoms such as tingling, numbness, and weakness, especially in the buttocks, back of the leg, foot, and toes. Without proper treatment, the pain can become intensely debilitating, profoundly impacting daily life. Symptoms often intensify at night or with minimal movement. Iron Mike confirmed the news about his condition back in a 2022 interview with Newsmax, saying, "I have sciatica every now and then. It flares up. When it flares up, I can't even talk. Thank God it's the only health problem I have. I'm splendid now. Everybody in my house is truly blessed, and we're all very grateful for whatever we have." In May, Tyson experienced a medical issue while traveling from Miami to Los Angeles on American Airlines. He reportedly felt nauseous and dizzy on the flight, and when they arrived at LAX, paramedics were on hand to assess him. The official statement said, "Thankfully, Mr. Tyson is doing great. He became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare-up 30 minutes before landing. He is appreciative to the medical staff that were there to help him." In response to the delay, Paul expressed his deep admiration, saying he loves and holds immense respect for the former undisputed world heavyweight champion. "Obviously, devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, gutted. We've been working so hard over here, everyone in this camp, and I feel bad for everyone in this event, the whole undercard," Paul wrote on Instagram, after news broke that Tyson had to pull out. He further added, "This opportunity has been ripped from all of us, but I do value Mike's health. Love that guy. So much respect for him, and I want Mike to be healthy. He still says he's going to knock me out, and I bought myself some time, so Mike is still talking over there." Jake added, "But Mike, if you still want to do this like you've said behind closed doors, I'm ready whenever you're ready. This is too big an opportunity. This fight's going to change the world. I turn all my L's into W's, a motto I live by, and the universe makes no mistakes, so let's see what's in store. But sorry this didn't work out." We know that Paul defeated Mike Perry, a former UFC fighter, and following his triumph, the YouTuber made disparaging remarks about Tyson and UFC light heavyweight world champion Alex Pereira. "Everyone said that it was a mistake taking this fight, that I was an idiot. I was risking it," he added. added, "But that's why I'm here. I take big risks, I put it on the line, and it's anyone, anytime, anyplace. Mike Tyson, your next big boy. Sign the contract November 15th. I'm excited for that. I'm going to go home and prepare for that." Jake added that Alex Pereira had expressed interest in boxing, declaring himself the king of the sport and inviting Pereira to make it happen. He mentioned that he wanted to fight Pereira, having already defeated a BKFC champion and multiple UFC champions. Jake suggested that after his fight with Mike Tyson, he and Pereira should arrange a match. Paul has also vowed to knock out Tyson, who turned 58 in June, adding, "Mike Tyson is training. He's back, looking crazier than ever. And I'm going to get another KO and prove everyone wrong once again. Mike, I love you, but this is my sport now. You're a legend. You're one of the two most famous boxers to ever live. You and Ali. It's an honor to get in the ring with you. I'm so honored. You're a legend, but I'm going to take your throne, brother." Meanwhile, Mike Tyson has released new training footage, and it has supporters fearing the worst. Last month, Nakisa Badarian, Paul's manager, revealed that while Tyson had picked up his strength and conditioning training again, he had yet to return to boxing. But the legendary boxer is back in the ring once more, and he posted a 7-second video of himself destroying the pads on Instagram. This follows a severe health alert issued to the 58-year-old by Dave Hancock, the acclaimed fitness guru and former physiotherapist for Chelsea, Leeds United, and the England national team. He said, "Looking from the outside, Mike Tyson's comeback is purely money-driven. If someone's going to offer you X to do Y, you can make a decision whether to do that or not at any age. So therefore, your incentive is cash. Therefore, you will be prepared to put your body on the line in those circumstances in that sport, because you know the reward is the cash." Hancock warned Mike ahead of his fight with Jake, expressing concerns about the potential catastrophic physical consequences. As a medical professional, Hancock highlighted that Mike's reduced reflexes, slower reaction time, and decreased fitness due to age could pose significant risks. He also mentioned possible cardiothoracic and pulmonary issues, along with other health problems that can develop with age and changes in lifestyle compared to when Mike was actively training. He added, "But at the end of the day, money talks." Going back to the same scenarios about footballers going on end-of-season trips and preseason trips, it's because there are huge amounts of money involved. It's no different for an individual athlete that could get a payday for a one-off bout with a YouTuber. A former boxing champion has criticized Jake Paul's bout with Mike Tyson, suggesting it's merely a stunt to provoke controversy and asserting that the legendary fighter doesn't belong in the ring anymore. When Jake Paul and Mike Tyson first revealed their plans to fight, they faced a chorus of criticism from current boxers, boxing legends, and fans. Detractors swiftly highlighted the significant age difference between the two and expressed concerns about Tyson's health as he prepared to return to the ring. Iron Mike is back in the gym, gearing up for his upcoming fight with an intense 3-month training camp. Yet, former boxing champion Carl Froch believes Mike shouldn't even step into the ring. He said, "I think Mike Tyson's too old to be in the ring. I think that was shown when he got carried off the airplane with his bad back. It's a pro fight just to create more stir. That's just to more people off." Froch, who has criticized Jake's boxing career plenty, said his only beef with the problem child is that he can't really fight. He added, "He's got a massive weight advantage on most of the guys he fights. His fights are mismatches. It's an unfair advantage. He's that much of a bitch. He makes it so he's so much heavier than his opponent." After his victory over Perry, the YouTuber-turned-boxer took a jab at UFC champion Alex Poten Pereira. However, Dana White quickly dismissed the challenge, stating that he no longer considers Jake a relevant concern. Many within the boxing world consider the upcoming match a done deal, with few people believing that Tyson, at 58 years old, stands a chance against Paul, who is 31 years younger. The YouTuber-turned-boxer exudes unwavering confidence in his upcoming fight and has already laid out his plans for the next 5 bouts following his autumn clash with Tyson. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is already planning his next steps after his upcoming clash with Mike Tyson. Asked for his hit list during a recent appearance on the Full Send podcast, Paul replied, "Alex Pereira, Conor McGregor, Canelo Alvarez, KSI, Tommy Fury." While both Alex Pereira and Conor McGregor are still bound by their UFC contracts, a battle between them appears improbable. Dana White has firmly stated his disinterest in collaborating with Paul, and he decisively dismissed the idea of a Pereira bout during a recent interview with TNT Sports. "The media eats all his bullshit, and they actually print it. It's the weirdest thing ever," White said when asked if he would be open to making the fight. White added, "I didn't even know Jake Paul was fighting. I was on vacation in Italy and I had no idea. There were all these stories written. It's ridiculous. I stopped paying attention to Jake Paul when he lost to Tommy Fury. When he fought someone that was his age and actually boxed, he lost." Paul has been pushing hard for a rematch with Tommy Fury ever since the British boxer delivered the only loss of his professional career last year. Despite his efforts, the anticipated showdown has yet to materialize. After defeating KSI in October of last year, Fury has been sidelined due to a hand injury. Among all the potential matchups, a bout with Canelo Alvarez appears the most improbable, given that the Mexican icon continues to dominate the world of boxing at the highest echelons. If they can agree on the weight, a fight with KSI is a genuine possibility in the interim. The difficulty is figuring out the weight, explained Paul. He added, "We both agreed to 185 pounds, but that was 18 months ago and now we are both heavier. He's walking around at 205 pounds and I'm walking around at 212 pounds. I couldn't make 185 pounds anymore, so that is part of the issue. The lowest I can make is 195 pounds and that would be difficult, but I've agreed to all of his other terms. I have said he could be A-side, we can fight in London, or anything else he wants. Just compromise a little bit on the weight." However, Jake Paul received brutal advice from Alexander Usyk to stop boxing before his bout with Mike Tyson. The reigning heavyweight champion, known for his reserved demeanor, succinctly advised him to quit boxing in the face of mounting criticism over his decision to face an opponent 3 decades his senior. When questioned about the British internet sensation KSI, he didn't hold back, dismissing him as merely a blogger. The anticipated showdown between KSI and Paul has been in the works for years, and talks continue to push the match closer to reality.
Word association. GOAT.
Muhammad Ali.
Strength.
God.
John Fury.
Father Tyson Fury.
Deontay Wilder.
Power right hand.
Tony Bellew.
My friend.
Jake Paul.
Star boxer.
Usyk is gearing up for a year-end showdown, with a rematch against Tyson Fury set for December 21st. Having previously outpointed the Gypsy King to capture the WBC world title, Usyk made history as the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis in 1999. After facing Fury twice, the Ukrainian has subsequently given up one of his belts. Daniel Dubois is currently the owner of the IBF strap. Since Paul accepted the Tyson fight, a number of people have criticized him, including Eddie Hearn, who described the bout as very sad. Usyk is not the only one. Paul, who recently triumphed over bare-knuckle fighter Mike Perry, has responded to his critics. He asserts that Tyson remains confident in his promise to rip his head off, even though there are concerns about the 58-year-old's age. Paul said, "Tell Mike Tyson that, because he does not give a shit what anyone thinks. He's his own boss. He wants to fight me. He told my team, I don't give a shit about this. Like, tell Jake I'm still gonna rip his head off and knock him the out. And this just bought him more time." Butterbean has upped the ante with a daring 1.5 million pounds winner-takes-all showdown against Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned boxer. While some skeptics doubt the wisdom of Paul facing the 58-year-old Tyson Butterbean, aka Eric Esch, known for his devastating knockout ability in the 90s with an impressive 57 KOs, is enthusiastic about the opportunity to challenge the problem child in the ring. As the Tyson versus Paul showdown grips the public's imagination, Butterbean remains steadfast in his intention to take on the social media star. Demonstrating his formidable punching prowess on TikTok, Butterbean has directly called out Paul, declaring, "Jake Paul, what are you waiting on? Are we gonna do this or what?" It comes after Butterbean first suggested a $2 million or 1.5 million pounds competition on the site last week. As Paul gazed down at the camera, Butterbean sent him a direct message stating, "Hey Jake Paul, would you fight me for $2 million? Winner takes all." The 58-year-old, who last stepped into the ring professionally in 2013, has been vocal about his wish to face Paul, according to the Daily Star. This retired boxing champion, boasting a record of October 4th, 77, is keen to lace up his gloves once more after more than a decade, driven by a remarkable weight loss transformation. The once feared heavyweight champion, who tipped the scales at a staggering 36.7 stone, has shed an astonishing 15 stone with the help of yoga maestro and former WWE star Diamond Dallas Page. Only a month ago, Butterbean declared himself to be in the best shape ever, sparking buzz about a potential and remarkable return to the ring. Butterbean initially challenged both Paul and Tyson during discussions about a return last year, saying, "I'm not a typical boxer. I go out there to fight. I want to knock somebody out. Jake Paul or Mike Tyson. Jake Paul runs his mouth too much. He's never fought anybody. I would love to fight him. I think people would like to see me and Tyson go at it, which would be a hell of a draw. Me and Tyson are actually friends, but I don't mind fighting friends." Meanwhile, when the bout between the ex-heavyweight champion and the YouTuber turned boxer was pushed to November 15th, Tyson said, "I want to thank my fans around the world for their support and understanding during this time. Unfortunately, due to my ulcer flare-up, I have been advised by my doctor to lighten my training for a few weeks to rest and recover." He further added, "My body is in better overall shape than it has been since the 1990s, and I will be back to my full training schedule soon. Jake Paul, this may have bought you some time, but in the end, you will still be knocked out and out of boxing for good. I appreciate everyone's patience and can't wait to deliver an unforgettable performance later this year." Now, legend Larry Holmes has weighed in with his prediction ahead of the fight. Throughout his remarkable 75-fight career, Holmes squared off against legendary figures such as Ernie Shavers, Ken Norton, and the iconic Muhammad Ali. However, in 1988, he faced a formidable challenge from Tyson while vying for the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles, resulting in a notable defeat. In an interview with USA Today, Holmes stated that he is picking his former rival to win. He said, "I'll bet a quarter on Mike Tyson." George Foreman, a master of comebacks, proved his mettle once again by reclaiming a world title at the age of 45, a remarkable feat after a decade-long hiatus from boxing. NY Fights made the argument to Big George that Tyson ought to be able to drop and stop Paul even at this age. His response was lucid. He said, "Jake Paul is no pushover and he is not afraid of any of these guys. Time is on his side. So happy for Mike Tyson, he needed this excitement in his life. Everyone is talking about it. Answer to your question is no." Foreman cautioned Tyson in a separate article with USA Today, continuing to compliment the younger fighter. He said, "Be careful with Paul, only because Paul has tricks. Tyson gets hit with one punch at his age. You start to hear funny noises." Mike Tyson's fight with Paul is fast approaching, and the predictions continue to fly in from all quarters. With just 3 months left before this unexpected showdown in Texas this November, the anticipation is building. Tyson, who was once the youngest heavyweight champion in history, has not stepped into the professional ring since 2005, when his illustrious career concluded with 2 losses. However, in 2022, he made a brief return to the sport for an exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr., which concluded in a planned draw. When questioned about the Mike vs. Jake fight by Jonathan Ross, another former heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua stated that it was beneficial for the sport. Joshua mentioned that he personally thought it was really good, although he acknowledged that boxing fanatics might not like it. He explained that the traditional path involves going through the Olympic system and then the professional ranks, whereas someone with a high profile could come out of nowhere and fight the best fighters, which some fans might see as disrespecting the sport.
Well, I personally think it's really good. I think that the boxing hardcores, like the boxing fanatics, they don't like it because it's like, why are they disrespecting our sport? There's an Olympic system that you have to go through, and once you're qualified there, then you go through to the professional ranks. Whereas someone with a profile can just come out of nowhere and fight one of the best guys.
Joshua further added that if the crowd were divided in half, with one half being hardcore boxing fans and the other half being fans of a certain person like a YouTuber, the latter group would bring many new people into boxing, which benefits everyone. He emphasized that boxing is a tough sport and having more viewers helps, making such fights good for exposure.
But I think, let's say we divided this crowd in half and you've got half of the people that are hardcore boxing fans and half of the people that love a certain person that's into YouTube.
Like a YouTuber, yeah.
But that person brings all of these people into boxing, which benefits everyone else that's involved.
Because some
in
of them
the
might stay not just for that match.
Yeah.
They might get into the sport.
And it's a tough game, so everyone viewing helps. So I think it's really good for people that need like some exposure.
He foresaw the outcome of the bout and threw his support behind the younger contender, worried that Tyson's advancing years might eventually take their toll. He also hoped fervently that the 58-year-old would emerge from the fight unscathed. He added that his only concern was father time, which has never been defeated. Joshua noted that Tyson is older now and expressed hope that Tyson would come out of the fight healthy. He predicted that Jake Paul would win due to his youth, emphasizing that youth was the deciding factor.
And of that match between Mr. Paul and Mr. Tyson, which one do you think is going to win?
The only thing I'm worried about is father time. That's one thing that has never been beat. And Tyson's, he's older now. But I pray that he comes out healthy. But I think Jake Paul because of youth. That's the only thing, because of the youth.
Meanwhile, Mike Tyson has been urged to withdraw from the upcoming fight due to concerns for his health. Anthony Taylor, Paul's sparring partner and a former rival of Tommy Fury, revealed this. Taylor has been working with the problem child since the beginning of Paul's 5-year boxing career. Taylor said, "Mike Tyson needs to take a leaf out of KSI's book and pull out of his fight against Jake Paul. I've worked with Jake behind the scenes, and trust me, you haven't seen what he's capable of. Tyson is a lamb to a slaughter. I worry about a concussive ending because Jake is a real fighter now." Undoubtedly, Tyson's extensive experience far surpasses Paul's, highlighted by his ferocious hitting prowess during his prime, which catapulted him to the pinnacle of boxing as the undisputed champion. He often shared training videos from his camp, showcasing brief flashes of his terrifying power. Additionally, Paul has declared he will deliver the decisive blow, suggesting he has the strength to rival the legendary puncher. Taylor further added, "I've known him for 5 years, and he's developed into a real fighter. When Tyson tires, Jake will make Tyson pay. Jake's cardio is next level. Did you ever see Homer Simpson bide his time, soak up a bit of punishment, and then knock over his exhausted opponent? Well, Mike's 58 and he's going to get tired real quick." Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.